E3 this year, from the sounds of it, blew everyone away, but most predominantly from Sony's side. From their announcements of a remastering of the old Crash Bandicoot games, which I and a lot of old school gamers love to pieces, to a new God of War, and even, surprisingly enough, a brand new Spider-Man game developed exclusively for the PlayStation 4. Now don't get me wrong, I love the original Spider-Man games developed by Activision, mainly Spider-Man 2, but not that terrible one in 2014, but the old one with the brilliant swinging controls, and even tolerated the amazing games. But I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to predominantly what Sony and Insomniac Games have got to offer on a new fresh take on the character. With the game simply being titled Spider-Man, this leads most to believe that this game is a completely new overhaul of the existing game, so no Amazing Spider-Man 3 continuation there. Sorry to all of the fans of that dreaded series. It was going down the well anyway. So after watching the E3 presentation of the game and the new trailer, which is now on PlayStation's YouTube channel, so go check that out, I was both pleasantly surprised and also a tad quizzical about it. So as you can see during the trailer quite early on, you see that the eye squinting from Civil War has also made it into the first draft of the suit in the game. A suit that is far beyond anything we could have expected, but to which also looks a bit like a mashup of a lot of different Spidey suits over the years, both in comics, films and other video games. So from what we can see, it incorporates, as said before, the squinting eyes from Civil War, and pretty much every incarnation of the character which has moved his eye through emotion, so that involves everything in the old comics to even Ultimate Spider-Man. The large spider logo from Ben Reilly, which is a clone of Spider-Man who turns out to be not maybe the clone, and there's the whole Spider Carnage storyline, and I'm getting off track. The back logo seems to be quite reminiscent of the first Sam Raimi film, with Peter's vigilante suit in the wrestling match. The overall look of the suit kind of rings a very sporty bell, probably used a bit of reference from the Amazing Spider-Man suit there, which was quite streamlined and sporty. So while the suit keeps the original black, red and blue, it definitely changes it up. The addition of the large sprawling white logo across his chest and back veer away from classic incarnations, unless you count the symbiote Spider-Man suit from the comics and Web of Shadows. The beauty of that suit, however, was that the colour contrasted with the black or the purple of the suit depending on which artist drew it. My personal opinion on the suit is mixed. It's 50-50. On one hand, I'm having to give props to the design team for making a brand new fresh look to the character, but on the other hand, it leaves me thinking it looks a bit like a Milky Bar. To me, the white is a little bit too much, which leads me on to my next topic. It looks to me that during the trailer it shows off a lot of the areas you're going to be fighting through. It even shows off a bit of the story, so what got me thinking was, will there be an option to change the suits over the course of the game like previous games? Because in previous incarnations of this character in games, the customization of his suit was a big part of it. Whether they be collectibles along the way or simply just suits that are for you to change into is, that's enough for me. Because I don't really see myself playing with this new funky sporty suit all the time. So the swinging in the game looks awfully reminiscent of the Amazing games, simply because of what we've seen. There's quite a lot of lens flare in it, so you can't really see much, which I hope is not completely the same mechanic. The Beanox now stepping down and allowing Insomniac to take over. Hopefully the swinging mechanics will actually incorporate some logic into them, much like the original Spider-Man 2 game on the PS2. The whole point of the game is to immerse the player into believing they are Spider-Man, so making the webs actually grapple onto buildings will be a much needed gameplay callback. From what we see in the trailer also, there's a lot of environmental interaction. At one point we see Spider-Man bursting through a cafe window, which may just be a quick time event, but may also just be something you can do. Swinging wise, we also see him using two web lines to pull himself across the city, which could also be reminiscent of, again, Spider-Man 2. The trailer doesn't really show off much of the story, but it does give us a solid look at the gameplay and the playability of the game, and a lot of action. So as future trailers and bits of gameplay come about, we should be able to determine which parts of the trailer were in fact gameplay, what parts were merely cutscenes, and whether the thing kind of all just melded together really. So personally, I'm looking forward to this game, and with it being exclusive to PS4, it's making me actually want to go buy one, buy the system, because that's how this works. Marvel gave Spider-Man's rights back to Marvel to put him in Civil War, and so Sony basically needs a little bit of love on their side, so making this game an exclusive is it's a good move by them, even though a lot of Xbox and PC fans will probably outcry for a port onto those systems. This is probably why I'm quite excited, because I've always preferred Spider-Man games on the PlayStation. I grew up with them, so taking me back to my roots will be a good thing. Let's just hope this game doesn't do a Batman v Superman and overhype us. So if you are going to think about getting the game, or simply maybe just want to look into it, go on the Marvel YouTube channel, check out the trailer for it, and hopefully when it drops you can go get it exclusively for PS4, which is what I'm going to be doing. So without further ado, I'm going to go buy myself a PS4 now, so bye.